A pair of projects through the Du Bois County Leadership Academy are rolling right along. More on where those stand. Plus, Carrie Schneider is back with our friends at the Du Bois County Humane Society, and Elmer Brahmas continues our political candidates series tonight on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin tonight with authorities arresting a Huntingburg man blamed for an accident almost 3 weeks ago that killed a Cannleton woman and left a Ferdinand woman seriously injured. Back on September 24th, Indiana State Police say 24-year-old Brandon Chamberlain was traveling northbound on State Road 162 north of Ferdinand when police say he drove his heavy-duty pickup truck left of center, striking a southbound car driven by 60-year-old Donna Marie Evans of Cannleton. Police say the impact pushed Evans' vehicle backwards and off of the east side of the roadway. Evans died as a result of her injuries. Chamberlain's pickup then continued northbound, and police say he lost control of it. That, combined with the impact of the initial crash, resulted in an ATV in the back of Chamberlain's truck becoming airborne and bouncing through the windshield and roofline of an SUV driven by 58-year-old Donna Trafton of Ferdinand. Trafton sustained 2 broken vertebrae in her neck. Now, the police investigation and crash reconstruction found that Chamberlain had been going northbound in the southbound lane at 74 miles per hour through a 55 mile per hour zone at the time of the crash. Police also found that Chamberlain had been under the influence of alcohol. Chamberlain is facing 2 counts for operating while intoxicated causing death. One of those is for an OWI with a prior conviction. The other is for OWI with a blood alcohol content higher than 0.15%. He is also facing an operating while intoxicated causing serious bodily injury charge. Chamberlain was lodged in the Du Bois County Security Center. His bond was set at $10,000 this morning in Du Bois Circuit Court. A pair of Du Bois County Leadership Academy projects are continuing to move forward in Jasper. Jasper Mayor Terry Seitz says the first of these is call boxes along the Riverwalk. That project was originally proposed by Josh Gunselman, who is a Jasper resident. Now, this project was originally started last year. The goal is to give folks along the Riverwalk the ability to call for law enforcement or other emergency help should an emergency situation arise. Seitz says to this point, 3 of the call boxes have been installed and are active. He says a total of 6 will be put up before all is said and done. Seitz says the goal is to keep the boxes out of the flood area and to avoid the rain during the installation process. Seitz says seeing this project continue to grow is the product of many different individuals and organizations.
Very happy from a citizen-driven project at that point, from the Du Bois County Community Foundation, from the Leadership Academy, from Frontier Communications, our Jasper Electric Department, and Matrix Integration. We've all made that happen, and some funding for the city.
Now, Seitz says the boxes will be spread out all across the Riverwalk. The first 3 were installed on the bottom of the Riverwalk. The other 3 will be put along the upper portion of the trail. The second project is the continuing effort towards having a dog park in Jasper. Jasper resident Jill Cravener, who was the city's 2014 designee for the DCLA, proposed the idea earlier this year. Seitz says the new park is set to be located just north of Gutzweiler Park near the Buffalo Trace Golf Course. He says the fence framework for the park is already done. Seitz says a lot of the credit for the project coming along goes to Cravener.
She volunteers to take care of the dogs that our street department takes in. And Jasper does take in our own, when residents call or somebody's dog is loose, we impound on our own and we have our own small area. So she's had a passion for animals, and I would give her credit for really taking this dog park idea and bringing it to fruition. It's been banding about for several years, and she asked permission this year if that could be her project, and I encouraged her to do that.
Seitz says the goal is to open the dog park for the spring of 2015. Progress has slowed a bit with the Huntingburg Airport's new T-Hangar project, though officials are pleased with the overall pace of the work. Last night, Airport Manager Travis McQueen told the board that contractor W.B. Kester of Evansville has built the field up to final grade for the new hangar. However, McQueen says the rain has halted the project for the time being. McQueen says all is well with the project to this point. He also says the next portion of work is now in sight.
The next step is simply to have Jasper Lumber come in and build the new footers that will be there. But we do have stone down on the final dirt level, And so the next step is to have the footers come in from Jasper Lumber. So we're really excited with the progress we've made today.
WB Kester's work on this project is expected to cost more than $318,000. Jasper Lumber's work will come in at close to $308,000. Also last night, McQueen gave the board another positive fuel report for the airport. He says activity has been on a steady upward trend throughout the year. The last 30 days have seen the airport acquire more than 25,000 gallons of Jet A fuel. McQueen says local pilots and folks coming into the area to work with local businesses have been a driving force behind the growth.
We see a demand for that fuel from our local agriculture production folks that are doing aerial applications, and we're thankful for the business. And in addition to that, we've had the local businesses that are remaining pretty active in their flight departments at this time of the year, but also the transient business that is coming in to meet with local business. They're really it seems like there's been a little bit of an uptick.
McQueen says the airport believes it has been blessed with the business increase. He says airport officials remain hopeful that it continues. Finally this evening, the second straight day of the strange and abstract when it comes to police stories here on 18 News. An elderly Georgia man was pulled over in Warwick County for speeding, but he thought he was in southern Georgia. Just after 7 o'clock Central Time this morning, Indiana State Police Evansville Post Sergeant Brian Wilson stopped an elderly driver who Wilson found going 98 miles an hour along Interstate 64 near Linville. Sergeant Wilson said as soon as he approached the driver, he noted that the 87-year-old man looked very confused. As mentioned before, the man told Sergeant Wilson that he thought he was driving across southern Georgia. Wilson then found a cell phone number for a family member. When he called them, the family member told Wilson they had been looking for the man all night. The man lives in Cornelia, Georgia. Troopers took the man to Deaconess Gateway Hospital in Newburgh for more observation. Family members from Georgia came up to the hospital to reunite with the man earlier today. All right, coming up after the break, Carrie is back with our friends at the Du Bois County Humane Society, plus your local forecast, sports with Kurt Guxell, and Inform with Elmer Bramus. That's all up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.